Yo, what's up, everybody? We are back. Today, we are going to be reacting to this article that I saw popped up on my Twitter timeline. I haven't seen it yet, but gonna definitely do a video just reacting to it. I was kind of surprised that this came out actually because it seems like a hard article to prepare from Bleacher Report, predicting the 25 best athletes over the next 25 years. So 2050 who are going to be the 25 best athletes over that 25-year period. Um, I haven't seen too many people talking about it either, so we'll see just what it has in store. Let's get a little sneak peek right here. Let's check it out. Starting with number 25. 25, Ryan Williams from Bama. Interesting. He's 17 years old and he's extremely talented. Originally, he was part of the 2025 recruiting class, and if you haven't seen him, he's basically balled out for Bama when, in some big games for them. Let's see. Through the first 5 games of the season, 19 receptions for 544 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's had some insane catches as well. Have you seen some of the games? I'm surprised, honestly, and I don't know when this article was prepared, because if we look at Ryan Williams, stats, Bama, and then we look at this is probably when Ryan Williams was getting a whole ton of media hype. And he's a really good, really talented receiver, especially for his age. And he's got he's got the kind of skinnier build going on. But over the season, he had 865 yards for 48 receptions on 8 touchdowns. And he's rushed for 48 yards and 4 carries as well. So he's been involved a little bit probably in the handoff action. And then Jeremiah Smith, though, who he is from Ohio State, and he's also a freshman, extremely young too. How old is he exactly? He's 19. I think he has a case to be included on this list, obviously being Ryan Williams is from Bama, and Jeremiah Smith goes to Ohio State currently. Maybe the media didn't give him that much notoriety as far as being included in this article, but I think he deserves more props. 1224 receiving yards, 400 receiving yards over Ryan Williams. Obviously, it's on a couple more receptions, but 14 touchdowns as well, and he had 1 touchdown rushing. He had about 5 carries, 52 yards. But I think both are extremely talented receivers. Ryan Williams, with his age being 17 years old, definitely is a little bit more of it jumps out off the page. Number 24, Jason Tatum. He's currently 26 years old. He's obviously already won a championship with the Celtics, been to the finals, also another appearance, and also has accomplished a lot since his rookie year, making the Eastern Conference Finals several times. I agree with this that Jason Tatum should be on the list. It really will just depend as well on how he carries through the later stretch of his seasons during his career. But definitely deserves to be on this list. 24, is it too low though? Let's see who is ahead of him. 23, we have Angel Reese in the WNBA. Now, saying Angel Reese is going to be more influential as far as the next 25 years, or I don't know if they said, actually, they said better athlete. Angel Reese being ahead of Tatum at this stage is a little bit crazy, at least even projection-wise. Because Angel Reese is obviously one of the most phenomenal rookies in the WNBA, right next to Caitlin Clark that we've seen in a long time. But she would have to accomplish it at the WNBA level, and this is competing with people like Caitlin, competing still with the Aces, competing with Paige, at least for foreseeably the next 5 to 10 years. She would have to accomplish a championship and the same type of resume for Tatum to be able to be ranked ahead of him, in my mind. We'll see if it remains to be seen if that's going to happen, but I don't really buy Angel being ahead of Tatum, at least for the purposes of this list. Maybe behind him, sure. Shedeur at 22, Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, going to light up the NFL just like he did in college. Deion's son. This might be a little bit of a nepotism pick because at the end of the day, Shedeur is projected to be kind of like a Geno Smith, just an overall solid NFL quarterback. And I'll get into that when I do my draft analysis videos. But I think for at least the purposes of this list, I'm okay with including him. But I don't know. We'll have to see what other football players are included because I feel like it's a little bit odd to have him over some of the young stars that we have breaking out right now. Juan Soto, 26 years old, just signed with my New York Mets. I would love for him to be one of the top 25 best athletes in all of sports over the next 25 years. I would love for that to happen. Is it going to? I hope so. But I've been given every reason to expect disappointment from my Mets. But, I would love for that to happen. Trinity Rodman out of the NWSL. Soccer player, 22 years old. I don't know much about Trinity Rodman, I'll be honest. Obviously, she's the daughter of Dennis Rodman. But I guess she's insane. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Ellie De La Cruz, 22 years old, really talented baseball player, out of the Cincinnati Reds. Baseball. I keep up with baseball, especially as it pertains to the Mets, but not as much as I keep up with the NBA and the NFL. Ellie De La Cruz, though, I know for a fact, is shaping up to be potentially one of the next faces of the MLB of this generation. So I think it's fair to include him on this list. CJ Stroud, coming from the Houston Texans. Is it premature? He definitely lit up the NFL as a rookie. Made the playoffs with the Texans. Threw like crazy. He's taking a little bit of a step back this year compared. They're still going to make the playoffs, assuredly. But he definitely is carrying the Texans. They've had a lot of injuries, and they're making the playoffs once again. So I guess it can't be argued that he should be included in this list. But I don't know. Are we going to see he's a phenomenal passer? Insane passer. So I'm okay with this. Kylian Mbappe, 26 years old, Real Madrid. Very talented. Fun. Paige Beckers at number 16, age 23, coming out of UConn, about to be likely the number one pick in the WNBA draft this coming year. She's insane. She's one of them ones. I'll be real. I followed the WNBA quite a bit, like over the past couple of years, and she has such a bag. Like, she's shaping up to probably be like a Kevin Durant style type of player in the WNBA, which is unique. One of those kind of like demigod type of. She's pretty tall for WNBA standards. And she's got those guard skills as well. And she can hang with the best of them. So I think that she could potentially even be included higher on this list. But I think it's definitely fair to have her on the list to begin with. Lamine Yamal. Hey, I hear this kid is really good. I've seen some of his games before. And I've seen some of his, what he's done. He's definitely very talented. He's, I believe he was the youngest scorer in the Euro Cup history during Spain's run. I was talking to one of my friends about him, and he's undoubtedly really talented, but he's got to continue to have sort of more of a free-flowing, reckless abandon to his game. Because if he kind of becomes more reformed when it comes to his fundamentals, and it comes to less of it's more of a chore or more of a game to play the game of soccer, then he might lose some of his flair. But definitely number 15. Definitely a fair ranking here. Now, Juju Watkins at 14. Over Paige? I mean, say what you want to say about the rivalry between Paige and Juju. I think personally that Paige is better. Obviously, she lost the head-to-head this year. I think Paige will end up being the better player, so I think she should be behind. However, very talented at the age of 19 for sure. Ahead of Lamine Yamal, though. That's a little bit of a stretch, no? I suppose because this is more at the international level, and he's doing big things on the world stage. In my mind, that holds more weight than lighting the world on fire in women's college basketball. And that's not even a crazy statement. That's just facts. Jaden Daniels, totally agree with him being on this list. Totally agree with him being on this list. Is there still a lot more to prove? Absolutely. Should he be ranked a little bit lower? Maybe. But good so far. Bobby Witt Jr. in the MLB. Fine, I guess. I don't know too much about him, if I'm being honest. Haven't really followed the storylines. Carlos Alcaraz, ATP Tour. Let me know in the comments. Is he the truth? I don't follow too much tennis. Patrick Mahomes. At the age of 29. So he would, basically the way that this article is projecting it to be, he would have to be having a similar longevity as far as season-wise to Brady, in my opinion, to be relevant as far as this list goes. Because this is from 1/125 all the way to basically 1/12050. 25 years. Let me know if you think that Patrick Mahomes is going to be this good, and how long, like, for how long? How long is he going to be this good? If this is the next 10 years, I'm completely fine with him being on this list. Again, like it says, oldest athlete on the list. So we'll see how he finds sustained success. Paul Skeens. I think that's how you pronounce it. All I know is that he's dating Livy Dunn. But I hear he's pretty damn good as well. Okay. Luka Doncic, totally fair having him this high on the list. Travis Hunter, ahead of him though. Generational talent. He's going to be amazing. Play two positions potentially full-time in the league. Going to be insane. Definitely vibe with this. Arch Manning ahead of him is crazy. That's a little bit crazy to put him there right now. I understand for the purpose of the list, you have to project a little bit. But Arch Manning being ahead of Travis Hunter with Travis Hunter's skill set, more of a media pick in my opinion. Cooper Flagg, definitely agree with him being right there. Could definitely end up being one of the best basketball players we've ever seen. I mean, he was giving the Team USA team buckets as a 17-year-old over the summer. And as a 17-year-old still, he remains to be one of the best players in college basketball. And he will be the number one pick in the NBA draft, almost certainly. Unless, Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper pull off some crazy stuff and Cooper Flagg kind of falls off. But I definitely agree with him being on this list. Anthony Edwards right ahead of him. Totally agree. Connor Bedard, yeah, for sure. Generational prospect. Caitlin Clark right there. Totally fair. Fair enough. And Wemby. This is a good list. I mean, all things considered, you included most of the people that I feel like should be considered. Like I said, Jeremiah Smith might be a guy that you might want to include, but of course, we don't know as much about him as far as like the mainstream discourse goes. Another person that I would have considered including in here, because there's a lot. Look, there's a lot of like women's basketball players that aren't even in the league yet. They're in college right now, might be soon drafted into the league. But why not just include AJ DeBansa? I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but he is a generational talent, potentially more so than Cooper Flag. I don't know if I'll go that far, but he's 17 years old as well, out of Brockton, Massachusetts. Maybe he deserves a place on this list, at least an honorable mention. So I'll give you the honorable mentions right there. And I don't know, maybe a couple more players that like are definitely stars in the league, young stars in the league could have been included here. But we'll see how the next 25 years shakes out, man. I enjoyed this list. I think it's a pretty good list, all things considered. But yeah, if you enjoyed reacting to the list with me, let me know in the comments. Drop a like and subscribe. Thanks, y'all. Peace.